Hello and welcome everyone to Experiences in Blogging. My name is Chris Antoni with thetrafficblogger.com. I'm joined today with
Keisha Easley from WeBlogBetter.com.
Today's topic for Experiences in Blogging is how to keep readers on your site for longer than 3 minutes. I think it's really important. I believe that Google definitely checks the 3 minute mark, and they check not just the 3 minute mark, but how long people actually stay on your website. I truly believe if you stay 2 seconds on a website and leave, Google puts a little minus sign next to the website. I mean, don't you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, what have you done, Keisha, in terms of blogging about this? I mean, I've done a couple posts myself, trying to help readers not readers. I'm sorry, try to keep other people creating content to keep their readers coming back and staying on their blog for as long as possible because of how important I think it is to Google. What have you done in the past to try and achieve that goal?
Well, I've had this experience where at first I couldn't really keep people on my site very long. Maybe they didn't find what they need, or they just couldn't figure out how to navigate. So I decided to just try to figure out, well, what can I do to make this site more inviting, more accessible to people? So I actually wrote a post about it called The Walmart Guide to Increasing the Average Time Spent on Site. Because this idea came to me one day as I was standing in line at Walmart. I was only supposed to be there for one thing, and yet I'm standing in line with like a cart full of stuff, like 2 hours later. And I'm thinking,
Same thing happens to me at Costco.
exactly. And I just, while I'm waiting in line, because I had time, because they take forever, I just thought about, wow, they succeeded in keeping me here beyond the 10 minutes I thought I was going to be there. And they got me to do way more than I had planned on doing. So I'm like thinking, well, what are they doing? And what is it that they're doing that I could possibly do on my site? And I just looked around at the size. They have everything in there. So I'm thinking, well, I need to have a lot of content. I need to have just about everything my readers will want to read about right here on the site. So that got me to thinking about, okay, what do people who are interested in blogging really want to know about? And then I thought about the layout of the store. Like all the important stuff, is kind of along the walls, where you can kind of just look up, you see these signs, dairy in the back, produce over here, and it's not a mystery about, at least the things along the walls anyway, where those things are. So I thought, okay, so I need some clear navigation. um, the other thing was, you need when people are getting ready to leave, you kind of need little stuff to kind of grab their attention. And even though I don't like pop-ups, so that wasn't something I could do, I thought, well, I can kind of keep things in my sidebar, keep those things interesting.
I think what you're bringing up is really important. Keeping up a roadmap to your site. Something that tells the reader this is where you need to go to get what you're looking for. And while you're scanning down this list of things, you might find something else you like.
Right. So, I kind of tried to do those things. I kind of still can't get past the 3 minute mark, and I know why. And it's because I'm not really posting a lot of videos, I'm not really posting a lot of podcasts. And I think that would,
Until now.
until now. So I'm really kind of seeing this as an experiment of, can this put me over that 3 minute mark that I really want to get past?
I think it can. I think it definitely can. And something I've done, and I am not trying to one up you in any way, but I have on occasion gone past that 3 minute mark, and it wasn't with a super long post. It wasn't with 30 videos or anything like that. All I did was I wrote lists of other posts I'd written, and I wrote little tiny biographies, outlines of each post. So I had 101 ways to drive traffic to your website. And all I did is I wrote one line under each subject for each of those methods with a link to a post that I had written, and not every line had a link and whatnot, but all those links kept people reading, and they looked at each one. They went, and it opened up in new windows too, so it keeps them on the page. You know what I mean? So they're going through, and it's almost like they're shopping at Walmart. They know where the stuff is that they really want, but they see all this other stuff along the way. I mean, it's kind of like when you go to Best Buy and you go to check out, you found what you want, and they make you walk through that stupid line of crap, and it's all this random videos and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they're just trying to get you to get one more thing before you leave, or go back and look at something else. But if you want to keep people on your page, you just got to give them something new to look at every line. You know, give them a huge directory of what they can find, but without going off topic. You know, if they're looking for dairy, only show them the 100 different types of milk you have. You know, don't show them every CD key and because otherwise they're going to get annoyed by that, like what Best Buy does.
Right. I agree. So
crap, we can't have agreements. It's going to make for a boring podcast.
Hey. Well, I can't argue about link posts. I think that's something I probably should do a little more.
You know what, though? It's not like it's a Herculean effort, though. You know, you have so much content on your website. You could look back and say, hey, do I have 7 posts? And I don't know why 7 seems to be a common number. Do I have 7 posts that are related to the same topic? I'll just write a post that links to each one and shows a very small description of what each one contains. You know, it's almost like scrolling down and look at the prices to pick a box of cereal to buy. You know, it's no different than when we shop. And I love your analogy with Walmart because, I mean, that happens to me all the time. I walk into a store and I buy 10 things.
There is a time warp mechanism in Walmart because you can really go in there 1 minute thinking you're going to come right back out, and then before you even know it, you don't even feel the time pass. It's like an hour later, 2 hours later, you're like, I've been here for 2 hours? Who does that? And this is like the norm. This is not like, oh, one day I accidentally stayed in Walmart for 2 hours. No, I accidentally stay in Walmart all the time.
It's true. It's so true.
You see the side caps, and then you see stuff in weird places. They've got this aisle that I'm noticing is like the seasonal aisle. On your way out, it's kind of like by the jewelry area. But all of a sudden, it's all of the stuff you need for whatever you're trying to do that day.
I think it's important, though, the people listening to this need to take this away. They already have all the ammo they need to do something like what Walmart does. If you just look at your site archive, it already is a list of links for your website. And I think a lot of people stick that archive at like the bottom of their website as an afterthought. And it's one of the most important tools you have. I mean, I'll look at my archive personally. It's right there at the top right of my site. And I'll find past articles I've written and say, oh, I should probably talk about that one today. And cross-link my post back to what I've already written. And it's just like getting lost in the aisles of Walmart or Costco or Best Buy. Technical difficulties. Oh, this is what I get for podcasting at someone else's house. But please pick up.
Probably hear my microwave beeping in the background. My daughter got up and started heating something up. And I've got the door closed, but I'm like, if I can hear it, you're probably hearing it.
So, this podcast is real, people. These are real people with real problems. And not that phone calls and children are problems. I didn't mean that. But it happens.
And you know what? I like the fact that, you know what? You don't have to go out and buy a soundproof studio, the highest of the highest quality microphones. Just do a podcast and see what it does.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. And to get back on topic, another really easy way to get people to stay on your page a little bit longer, and maybe to get them to stay on the page at all, is to have an image at the top of your post. It's really not hard to do. It's very important. How many times have you written a post and been like, oh, an image would be really good. Yeah, I don't feel like it. Publish.
You know what? I'm actually, I have to find an image and I have to find a good image. And sometimes I spend more time looking for an image than I actually spent writing the post. And it drives me crazy. That's like one of my OCD moments because I do understand the value of that image. Sometimes you're not really paying attention to the words. You're like, oh, that's a cool picture. What is this talking about? Sometimes you just
Yeah,
get sucked in
seriously.
like that.
And nowadays with the way feeds work and even site, I'm sorry, lists of other blogs that you read, blog rolls. Jeez Louise. So even blog rolls nowadays will sometimes include the first image it finds of your site. So like you'll have on a really popular website, if you're on their blog roll and you have a cool image that day, people will see it and click on it.
Wow.
And the same goes for a title. Now I do not spend anywhere near enough time writing my titles. It's a great way to get people to stay on your post longer. Because if you have a title with a great question that comes to their mind, they're going to read your whole article. It's so hard to get people to read nowadays, and that's why you got to invest in these podcasts and videos and whatnot and images and try and link back to things and get people going in circles on your site because it's so hard to get someone to sit there and read.
Yeah, it's really crazy because, okay, I love to read. So I forget that there are people who prefer videos. My husband, he will watch hours upon hours of YouTube videos when he wants to know how to do something. Like lately, he's been wanting to do those paracord bracelets. So he watched like all day yesterday, video after video, all these different patterns for doing paracords. And I'm thinking, I would have just found an article with some pictures and I would have just read it.
Yeah, 2 minutes on an article. He spent hours watching YouTube videos.
Exactly. That just shows you the power of how you can keep people hanging around all day. Really.
Well, we don't want to keep our audience hanging around all day. I think they've been really awesome listening to us so far. Guys, girls, I really want to hear your experiences. We really want to know what's going on in your blogging neck of the woods. You know, have you had trouble keeping people? Do you even know how to keep track of how long people have stayed on your site? We probably should have addressed this. I mean, I use Google Analytics. I don't, Keisha, what do you
That's
use?
exactly what I'm using.
We will probably have to mention that next time, but definitely let us know if you've struggled with this in the past, if it's even been on your radar, if you've even cared, if now suddenly you care. Please let us know. Well, I just want to say thanks for listening and good luck and have fun.
Alrighty, bye bye.